Hello and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, your host, and I am absolutely privileged that you are here listening to this. Part of Mindset Alchemy is that we look at, know intuitively, choose consciously, create intentionally, and be effortlessly. I work with the success spiral, and all of this involves working with energy. Words are energy. Our thoughts are energy. We are energy. And it's the energy we align with that comes forward. It's the energy we're feeling that gets felt by others. We are all connected. Think about it like the tree root system, the mycelium of mold, of various aspects where we are all connected and interconnected. This is the reason we can get entangled with somebody else's energy, somebody else's drama so effortlessly. On the other hand, we could also get entangled with their happiness. The challenge is to release the entanglement and be our own person. And this is something that I love working with people, helping them to recognize what the energy of their words, their thinking, their perceptions, and being unconscious of the programming that they've received in their lives does for their life. For myself, I know the other day I'm not sure where I was. I think I was walking along the coastline and I suddenly remembered saying something, and the consequences have shown on my body. And it was like, oh my goodness, look at that fear, that programming that my mom, in absolute love, asked me to look at something, and I developed a fear around it, and then my body started showing it. Once I started clearing this fear, I recognized it. I brought it into consciousness and I said, you know what? I'm unavailable for you. I'm available for wellness, for health, for what's coming forward. Wow, the pain went and the rest is sorting itself out. Now, is it as simple as this? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. It depends on what else is lying there in the deep unconscious. I often, when I stand at the sea and I look out over the headland and I go, you know what, this is a bit like life. I can see the top of the ocean, I can see the sky, I can see the yacht in the distance, I can see the homes on my right-hand side and behind me. What is beneath the ground? What is below the surface of the sea? That's our unconsciousness. So there's life there. There's things going on there. We just are unable to see them unless we put on our goggles, our snorkeling kit, whatever it takes, and go and have a look, or a nest like we dig. For me, it's fascinating to see these little lumps of soil pop up in the lawn and know that the little moles or the shrews are underneath there, wending their way beneath the ground. They've gone now. I know so many people get terribly upset by them, and I understand their feeling, their pride in their lawn and their gardens and that sort of thing. I've also seen that when you leave them alone, they move on. And very often that's what happens when we can allow this to be our consciousness. It doesn't matter what's swimming in the sea or beneath the earth. When it pops up, you know it's there and you can deal with it. Yes, we will often say, well, where did this come from? What is the reason for this? What is the fear of success? What is the fear of moving forward, of visibility? Where is the fear of responsibility? What is the understanding of accountability? And when we begin exploring with our eye on our vision and where we're going, on the dreams and desires we know we have, it is absolutely incredible that things pop up. We can see them because now they've become conscious. We can then release them and say, oh, I see you. Thank you for showing me that you were the cause of this and everything else has been the symptom. Let's deal with it. Body, I know you can sort this. Life, I trust you. Like we were talking about last week, I can trust you. Show me the way forward with this. What is the better way of dealing with this? And what am I here to have the experience of? What am I here to learn with it? And as we do this, we allow that unconscious to become conscious. We have the awareness of it, and we can let go of it and move forward in a much more aligned way. We can also raise our energy to be at a much higher vibration because we understand where that dip in our energy is. We understand where that dip in our thinking comes from. And because of entanglement, we can also understand where we're taking on other people's feelings, thinking, and ways of doing. So it's very multifaceted when you work with energy. You have the energy of past programming, you have the energy of picking up on other people's programming. How does life get any better than this? And of experiences that you've had. So then instinct kicks in, and it's to say, is this instinct or is this intuition? And then work with the energy of intuition. One of the tenets of mindset alchemy is to create intentionally. So we set the intention. I would like to have achieved or accomplished this. And if you're a person who likes to set dates, I'd like to say, this is the intention I have, and these are the targeted dates. These are the goals I'm putting in place, because targets are movable, goals are fixed for me. And what are the tasks to take and do today? And because I am focused on what my intention is towards achieving, to give an example, I would love to go, I have an intention to visit my daughter overseas. So what are the targets? Well, to get my passport renewed, the visas in place, the airplane tickets, the finances, to have itineraries, all these things. So what are the tasks I'm to allocate to them? And then to say, okay, what energy, space, choice, and consciousness can me, my body, and my business be to achieve this or that or the next thing? That comes from the modality of access consciousness, if you'd like to go and look it up. It's a very powerful modality as well. And they also work with consciousness and energy. Now, when we work with energy, we get directed, oh, go and book energy and intuition, go and book this, go and book that. Instinctively, I had a fear of, oh my goodness, am I going to understand the technology? Am I going to do this? I saw that it was an instinctive response and went, of course I am, because intuition will guide me. And let me tell you, intuition did, because somehow I got onto a website that was absolutely was going to take my money, and the visa would have never been forthcoming. And because of intuition, instinct popped up. I could feel the energy was wrong. Then intuition was, asked this person. They went, looked at it, and they laughed, and they said, please avoid that website. This is the correct one. And that is how life can work with us with ease. This is also how we get to trust ourselves. We work in the energy of intention. This is what I would like to do. Now, you can do things intentionally, or you can do things unintentionally. When you're doing things unintentionally, we very often are unhappy with the results. Whereas when we do things with intent, with focus, with understanding, with trusting ourselves, with listening to our intuition and feeling the energy of it, reading the energy of it, wow, it makes such an incredible difference. And this is what I help myself with. I help my clients with it. We learn to read what body's saying. We learn to read what life is saying. And we get to understand we can make good choices, and we can make better choices, and we can make the best choices. And that's choosing consciously. It's just, look at it as a game. Have fun with it. Bring lightness to it. Have playfulness with it. Because otherwise it can get very heavy and fear-orientated and based, rather than, oh, you know what? I'm co-creating with the universe. I'm co-creating with source energy, with Mother Earth energy. What am I co-creating? What do I truly, deeply desire to co-create? And is it in alignment with me? Where am I going with it? What can I do with it? Anyway, when we are able to bring that element of curiosity, that element of what else is possible to it, it makes working with energy just so much easier, because we start looking at the higher vibrational areas rather than the fear-based lower vibrational ones. We start looking to see what is popping up that may be dropping our vibration, that comes from a programming as a child. Oh, who do you think you are? Oh, you can't do that. Well, what if I can do that? What if it doesn't matter if I'm becoming big-headed? At least I'm becoming. And the important thing is I get to choose who I'm becoming. So it doesn't matter what those other people's insecurities was doing. I'm able to recognize that it was their insecurity and return to sender with love and consciousness attached. Well, what if they did, Janine? It doesn't matter. The essence is here. Return it to that situation in the past with love and consciousness attached. Because from what I have learned is it will, in that sending it back now to then empowers you now, because it comes forward consciously. So it's like a circle. Because you did it now, back then, you were able to have the awareness in the now that you can clear it. I know. Don't worry. Some days I go, what? Myself. I just understand that it works. I understand that energetically it works. And it's because time is man-made. Things are happening in continuation. And this is the reason you also pick things up from far in the past. You pick things up from ancestors. You pick things up from various other energetic happenings. And it's okay. It's okay to say, okay, I'm available to understand it maybe another day. And that is also okay. Please say with me, it's safe to be okay, and it's okay to be safe. That is one of the most important phrases for me when I am working energetically, because when we are safe, we go back to being high vibrational. We can allow in the absolute playfulness, we can become curious, and we can allow for a greater expansion, a greater outcome, and something I work with all the time is life is always working out for me. The life always has my back. And what are the infinite possibilities here? The other one that really, really helps me and really works for me is, what good has come from this? Even when things look like a complete disaster, and they may be a disaster in human terms, when we ask what good can come from this, it opens space for people to reach into their greatness rather than into their fears. It makes space for ourselves to reach into our greatness rather than playing with our fears. It allows us to feel those fears, experience that past programming, and make conscious the fact that we can allow things to turn out for the highest of good for everyone, even though it appears differently. And it just makes such an incredible difference in life. There's so many stories. I'm thinking of a story where someone's mom passed away, and he and his dad were absolutely devastated, and yet it was his stepmom, when his dad remarried, that allowed him to step into the greatness of the person he became in later life. If I remember correctly, it's Napoleon Hill. You can correct me on that. And it was the fact that his stepmom kept saying to him, you can do this. I believe in you. What's a better way of doing it? And she encouraged him with everything, no matter what was happening. And when we get to do this with ourselves, we can achieve it. So, what good has come from this? What good can come from this? What good is coming from this? Importantly, what good has come from this? Where can it work for the highest good of all? Wow, that was a lot today. Let me know your thoughts, and if you'd like to work with me, come and find me or book a sounding board session in the show notes. I also have a Thinking by Design program, so if you're interested in that, let me know, or click on the Linktree link and we can take it from there. Have a beautiful, incredible, aware day, and remember, create intentionally, because you've chosen consciously the way to think, to respond, to work with life, and to feel. Have a good one. Bye-bye.